in the infield this year, walk-ons and scholarship guys. I mean, how do you balance out playing time and getting reps and seeing things in scrimmages?
It's going to be very difficult. However, if you look at our team with a snapshot, it's a pretty good team coming back, but short, second, and third are going to be new people, and nobody has an advantage. No matter what their statistics might have been, where they came from, nobody has played significantly here, or if at all. So there's going to be a battle, and I tell the players all the time, I don't make out the lineup, you do. So they'll get a chance to go through the rigors. Now, like Joel's a middle infielder, but he's going to pitch, so there's going to be a balance there, how much time he gets in the infield and protect his arm and those kind of things. But we got to sort it out. And in the recruiting path, you can put all your eggs in a couple of baskets and hope it all works out. But we decided we were going to bring some people in and make it extremely competitive and try to come up with the best players we could at those positions. So it's going to be tough. I think we'll be able to give guys enough rest, but there's going to be a tremendous battle at those positions.
Just with some of the pitching depth, I mean, you have a lot of arms this year, but just on the front line, does it seem likely that Colby will be in the Sunday spot, Matt will be Saturday, and probably Forrest maybe gives a look at closer?
It's early, and I think if you look at Forrest Cummings, you go, boy, he could be a bullpen guy with the way he pitches and the way he attacks and his competitive nature. But who knows? Colby did a nice job for us last year. I'm really high on Tyler Webb. I think he's been a contributor here, but I think he's on the cusp of being a really, really good one. And, Price and Roth have had their success. So there's some other guys, too, that have done well. We'll just have to see. I don't know. The good news is I think we have some good arms and we have some young arms. Evan Bill is pretty good. So is Joel Sutton. So I'm excited about that part. I don't know that you ever hear a coach say that he had too much pitching. So we'll see how it works out.
Back to the infield, you've always brought in some guys who have been known more for their defense than offense, a Haney or a Mooney, guys like that. Do you have any guys in this class who are defense plus guys who know how you like the defense in the middle?
It's a little bit of a different year. I don't think I'm as familiar, maybe as I have been at times with some guys that are coming in, but there's some outstanding talent. There's some guys that can run. There's some guys that can hit. They're offensive, maybe giving up some defense. There's some questions, and we got to sort them all out to try to put the best team we can on the field.
One of the freshmen that wasn't up there today, Grayson Griner, could you discuss his game a little bit and how significant he's going to be as a pretty key recruit as well, especially with your two catchers gone?
Well, Grayson Griner is a little bit familiar maybe with Landon Powell. When Landon Powell came in there, he was going to get an opportunity to play. And Grayson's in that boat right now. And, he's a guy where the timing is impeccable based on the guys that had playing time. So, we'll see what happens. He's a very talented freshman. I think he's very prepared to be successful at this level, but it's going to be a great challenge. But he's going to get the opportunity.
Ray, I got to ask, how's the second championship summer been? Has it been as crazy, not as crazy, a little more routine, or how's this going?
It's been great. It really has. The excitement, just the opportunity to experience it is one of those deals that I think it's going to take me a while to really, years to look back and say, this is, that was the real wow factor. You stay so busy, sometimes you don't reflect enough, but it's been wonderful. It's been so much fun, and I went to lunch today at a restaurant that I've never been before. One of my friends said, "Hey, I'm taking you to a great restaurant that nobody knows about." And of course, when I got there, it was packed, and I said, "Nobody knows about it. It seems to be well received." And I took pictures for 30 minutes. It's kind of crazy at times, but it's just a lot of fun. It's just a great celebration, and just try to cherish the great moments of college athletics.
Ray had some guys that were out pretty much all last year with injuries, like Harrington, Belcher, Spencer Jordan. How are those guys progressing, and do you expect them to be able to go right away at fall practice?
None of those guys are 100% yet. I think Belcher is set back now. He's got a foot issue. He has surgery on. He's probably going to miss entire fall practice. He was going to miss probably half of it anyway. His arm should be back by the middle, but Harrington is still having some issues. I think he'll be a little bit more competitive in fall practice, but he's got to get healthy. Spencer Jordan is kind of a wait and see as well. So he's just still got some guys banged up.
And Rosenberg.
Well, Dante and I exchanged a couple of texts 2 or 3 days ago. He took some time off. He tells me that he's ready to roll, and that's important for us because Rosenberg is a guy that can certainly contribute, and he and Grayson Griner have an opportunity, certainly on paper, to run up and catch the bulk of the innings behind the plate. So I hope he is extremely healthy because he's a good player.
We've talked about a lot of different pitchers, but you're still sitting there with guys like Adam Westmoreland and Pat Sullivan, other guys in the mix. It's really going to be deep. You're going to struggle to get them all innings in the fall, so you can kind of sort through them.
Well, we're going to try to get those guys that are on the cusp. The guys that haven't, they don't have enough stripes on their sleeves, but they've been in the program for a while. We're going to try to get them, somewhere between 14 and 18 innings. We're not going to go excessive, but we're going to try to get them some innings in the fall to see if we feel like there's a role for them. It's not important to me that I see Michael Roth this fall, Matt Price, and some other guys. All that they're going to probably pitch a little bit, but those guys have been with us, and typically you have a guy or two that has been in the program that all of a sudden rushes to the front, and I hope that somebody in that group you're talking about can help us. We've got some changes to make. If you look at the appearances we've gotten out of the bullpen, Mata, Taylor are gone, and what Roth did 2 years ago as a left-handed guy. We're looking for some situational guys that can do a good job for us out of the bullpen.
Talking about situational guys, would Jordan Montgomery possibly fall into that category, being a left-hander? And
Jordan Montgomery is a guy that has been a winner. I mean, he's one at the highest level he can pitch at right now, and he's a guy that yesterday the coaches were in my office, and he came through, and sometimes a guy like Jordan gets lost in the shuffle as far as the draft is concerned and those kind of things. But we who knows this year what will happen, but he's certainly a guy that we think can win big here during his career, and he's left-handed, so you never count that out.
Ray, I wanted to ask you about this. It's part of the new media that we live in now, but the political blogger that has been talking for about 10 days now about a story that he says he has involving a baseball program that apparently is coming out soon. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't know enough about it. It's been mentioned to me, but I haven't done any research on it, and I don't know of anything that I could say. I don't know enough about it, and so I've been told, that it's not something I need to be worried about right now, so it'd be inappropriate for me to make any comments.